Hello Procrastinator, Sam here, and today I want to talk a bit more about the Sonic series, or rather, the Knuckles series that was revealed by Paramount roughly a day ago. I did do an initial reaction video to the announcement of the Knuckles series as well as Sonic Movie 3 being announced and in production. So if you guys haven't watched the video yet, please go ahead and watch it. I was very excited in that video. But since that video, I didn't know initially if it was confirmed to be a Sonic the Hedgehog series that they were making, or if it was going to be a Knuckles series, because some people were reporting that it was a Sonic series where Knuckles will be featured in it and voiced by Idris Elba. Some other people were, reporting that it was going to be a Knuckles-focused series with Idris Elba as Knuckles. So since then, it's become more clear that it is probably going to be a Knuckles-focused series. So I want to give more coherent thoughts on the matter, and I do want to give a forewarning before jumping in that I don't have a script for this video. I am going to be kind of rambling, but regardless, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like button, and if you guys want to stay up to date to my channel and become a procrastinator like many have, hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So my initial thoughts to the idea of a Knuckles series is simply, how will this work? It's not to say that I don't think this won't work. I do think that this can work, but it does leave a lot of questions because, of course, at the time of this recording, Sonic Movie 2 is not even out yet. It comes out in about a month and a half, so we still have some time to get Knuckles' character in Sonic Movie 2, and we still don't know, after the movie, if we're going to have all the answers to how this series will be, whether this is going to be a sequel or a prequel. My hope is that this will actually be a sequel to Sonic Movie 2. I hope it's not a prequel. And the reason why I'm hoping it's not a prequel is because, I feel like we're already going to know where the character's heading if it's a prequel, since we've already seen how he will be in Sonic Movie 2. So I hope this will be a sequel to what happens after the events of Sonic Movie 2. But again, my thoughts could change. That could all change when Sonic Movie 2 comes out. But it is already confirmed that Idris Elba is going to be Knuckles in this supposed series. And it does leave a question if other characters are going to be in this series, and if they are in the series, who will be voicing those characters? Because again, this is not the movies. This is going to be a series in and of itself, and I'm sure it's going to be in the same universe as the movies. So I really hope that they do keep the same cast. Like, I hope if Sonic is in this series, like if he does make appearances, that I hope Ben Schwartz is still going to be voicing Sonic, Tails is still going to be voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and if for some reason Eggman is making cameos in this series outside of the movies, I hope it's Jim Carrey. I know that's going to be the hardest thing for them though, because Jim Carrey is a huge movie superstar. So for him to sign on for a series, I feel like that is going to be really hard for them to do, but it's not impossible, but we'll see what happens regarding all of that. But outside of that stuff, because again, we don't really know how that stuff is going to be, I am wondering how they will do a story focused solely on Knuckles. And one of the things I'm thinking they'll do is probably go into the character backstory, talk about his place as the guardian of the Master Emerald, talk about the lore regarding the power of the Chaos Emeralds maybe, or the Master Emerald itself, or as the world as a whole, maybe even the rings. I feel like whenever we go into Knuckles and, the fact that he can control the Master Emerald, it does leave a door open to talk about the powers in this universe, in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, and how the Echidna tribe has this knowledge of the emerald and how they work, and that could also translate to the ring. So I'm hoping they kind of go into the lore about that, kind of building more of that lore and, introducing more people to the backstories behind the powers in the Sonic universe. Maybe they'll also go into the Echidna tribe and their quest for power and why they wanted Sonic's power so much in the first movie. And it's not far different from the games. The Echidna tribe in the games were also really hungry for power. In Sonic Adventure, when they were trying to get the Master Emerald and Tikal was trying to stop them, it's because they wanted the power of the Master Emerald. And in Sonic movie, in the original, it seems like they wanted that. They wanted Sonic's power. So I feel like they could definitely talk about more about the Echidna tribe in this supposed series, and it could be definitely interesting, especially for us longtime fans, to get lore like that. That'd be great. And also, I feel like that lore would be interesting for newcomers to the series, or people who are just trying to get introduced to the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It's a great way for them to jump in. Maybe they even want to go into the game's lore and how Knuckles may be the last of his kind and how he deals with that. Yeah, if you guys remember, in Sonic Movie 1, they did show the Echidna tribe, but in the games, Knuckles is considered the last of his tribe. The entire Echidna tribe was considered wiped out. So I really hope that if they do go in that route, they go more into Knuckles' character and how he deals with that, how all of that happened, how the Echidna tribe was even wiped out to begin with, and whether, you know, something like that would be connected to Sonic Movie 2 or Sonic Movie 3. Again, we don't know if this stuff is going to be mentioned in Sonic Movie 2. It could very much be mentioned that he's the last of his tribe in Sonic Movie 2, but there's just no way for me to know yet because it is not out yet. So I really hope this video is not outdated, but if he is the last of his kind, like he is in the games in this series, I hope they do go into that. And if he's not, if the Echidna tribe is still there, I hope they also go into that as well. I did go into thinking that they could also do new creative stories. You know, they could introduce characters from the games like the Chaotix making an appearance, or even Rouge the Bat and her quest to try to get the Master Emerald for herself. I mentioned these characters because the Chaotix and Rouge, they're usually surrounding Knuckles in the series, in the game series. So I feel like it would be a good introduction point for them to, you know, jump into the Sonic Cinematic Universe, as we're calling it now. And having the Chaotix maybe be in the series, or Rouge getting her introduction in the series, if not for Sonic Movie 3, which again, I have more thoughts on Sonic Movie 3 and I'll probably make another video on that, and I might talk about that more when Sonic Movie 2 comes out because we'll have more of an idea of where they're going for Sonic Movie 3, but I do have some ideas and I'll talk about that in a future video. But maybe Rouge could get her introduction in this series, or maybe even they go outside of the box and they introduce even new characters that were never seen before, maybe regarding the Echidna tribe, but the Echidna tribe again is not wiped out. They go into characters in that. But you can see where I'm going with this, where they do have a lot of creative freedom with the series because the games do set a good foundation. The story that I told in the game, they set a good foundation, but I feel like there isn't enough in the games to warrant an entire series around the character. But that's not a bad thing. They could play with it. They could go off and do their own thing, let it be its own separate thing, while also sticking true to the series. But my main hope is that, you know, they do treat the character and his backstory accurately to how it is represented in the games. I hope it's not like a completely different origin story or a completely different lore there. I do hope it is reminiscent of the games and they don't cause any more type of brand confusion, because I already know people kind of look at Knuckles as this dumb character, and that's because of Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom treated him as the comic relief. They treated him as the idiot of the group, and that's not, I guess, a bad thing, but I feel like it does lead a lot of people to be confused about Knuckles' character, because I know for a fact there were some kids when they saw Knuckles in the Sonic movie trailer, they were confused as to why he was so serious. It seemed out of his character because they grew up with Sonic Boom. And, you know, I hope that, you know, this series will kind of set the tone to what Knuckles really is supposed to be, kind of serious in nature but gullible at the same time, and go into the lore and his backstory. But more importantly, I do hope that this series does grow beyond focusing on Knuckles, which I am almost certain they will do that. I don't see why they wouldn't. But by that, I mean, I hope that they also do a series for Sonic and Tails as well beyond the movies. I don't think Sonic and Tails has to be resorted to just the movies. If Knuckles is getting his series and they want to grow the side characters, they should also grow the main character too outside the movies. They could definitely do a live action series with Sonic and Tails, and I see that doing very well. Now you might be saying, well Sam, they are doing Sonic Movie 3, and yeah, you're correct, they are, and I'm happy they're doing that. They're continuing the movies, but the way I think about this is kind of like the MCU. The MCU also did side stories on the characters in the movies, and if anything, it just helps the audience's connection to said characters. If they were to do a series with, like, say, Sonic and Tails, it would help grow their friendship and the iconic duo's chemistry outside of the movies. And I already mentioned that this might be the case because, again, when they announced the series, the supposed Knuckles series, it's called Sonic the Hedgehog series. So I don't think it is going to be solely a Knuckles only series. And there is going to be a Knuckles only series, but I don't think that's going to be the only series. I'm sure they are going to have series on other characters like Sonic and Tails. So they may be planning to spread the spotlight to other characters as well, and I think that is a great idea. They definitely should not just stop with Knuckles. Because again, at the end of the day, there is a lot of characters in the Sonic series. Now I'm not saying every side character should have their own series. I'm not saying make a side series on Vector the Crocodile. But I do think using the Sonic the Hedgehog series, you could introduce more side characters that probably wouldn't be wanted in the movies. But by doing so, it allows the audience to connect with these other characters and further grow the brand in the process. And doing so also allows the studio to work more with other characters besides focusing solely on Sonic, because, you know, I know Sonic is the character that people know the most, but I do think it's important that if they were to introduce more characters in this series, because this series is a great opportunity to do that, it would just simply help the audience's connection to those characters and allow those characters the opportunity to be more involved in the series going forward. And Sonic the Hedgehog brand desperately needed a series like this to be made because, you know, if you guys have not noticed, the other characters in the Sonic series have been neglected and forgotten about for so long. The Sonic series has so many iconic characters that people love, but they're never really utilized anymore. And this series can be a great way to revitalize that love for other characters and grow the overall brands further by introducing these characters to new fans. And as a result, I hope this eventually shows Sega that the love for these other characters are strong and should be more prominent in the games. So that's why I think they should also grow this series beyond just focusing on Knuckles. I do hope Sonic and Tails get a series of some kind. I hope that the Knuckles series and the Sonic series, you know, they kind of intertwine, they kind of overlap. I hope by doing so with this series, like a TV series, they are able to introduce other characters in this series to help further grow the brand and the characters and the love for the characters, and help the audience get up to speed with these characters. That way it's not like a complete surprise to who these guys are, and it allows the studio more to work with. So really, my end thoughts are the idea of a Knuckles side series is a great idea. I really do think it's a great idea, and I hope to see a lot of really good action because Knuckles is an action-oriented character, and I really hope to see some pretty damn good CGI. Now, I'm not expecting it to be like movie quality CGI. In fact, I'm sure it's not going to be at the same quality that it is in the movies. If it is, that's fantastic, but I highly doubt that. But the reason why I'm looking forward to this is because, again, Knuckles is an action-based character, so I'm hoping to see some really nice action scenes. And at the end of the day, I'm sure that these action scenes in this show as a whole is just going to look better than, say, Sonic Prime. That's not me to, you know, completely shitting on Sonic Prime. I know Sonic Prime is something that we completely forgot about because there has been a lot of news around it. But those pictures that were leaked from the concept arts of Sonic Prime do look interesting, but we got to remember that the show is not going to look like that. It is going to be a 3D animated show, but it is going to be made by the people that made Mega Man Recharged, and I've heard really bad things about that show, and the show doesn't look like it has that big of a budget. So I'm really hoping Sonic Prime doesn't fall under that, but if it does, if that is like, you know, something that they're not focused on making all that high quality, which would be sad to say, but if they aren't, and you know, I will say based off of that one financial report where I did mention that they did say that Sonic Prime is of low risk to the IP because the Sonic IP is strong, and I question why they would say that about Sonic Prime. I believe this series is probably why they said that, because if Sonic Prime is going to be kind of like a more kiddish version of Sonic that has a kind of a lower budget, this is the series, this Knuckles series, and this series on Paramount is going to be more for people like me, the higher end, higher quality, maybe slightly more mature storytelling and lore building on this aspect of the characters. So at the end of the day, I just really hope that this series grows into even something greater. I hope they introduce more characters into the series, and I hope doing so it allows the studio more to work with, like, let's say like Sonic Movie 3 or hell, Sonic Movie 4 if they even want to go that far. I hope this series allows the studio the opportunity to do that. And all in all, I just think that doing this, having a series set on these other characters, is a great way to grow the brand, and the love for these characters can really be represented here because, again, they were neglected for so long, and I hope that when Sega sees this and they see the love for these characters that people have, that it'll help them get introduced into the games. And at the end of the day, with the brand growing in audience numbers because of the series like this, I hope this also leads to us getting better games in the end. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sorry for all the ramblings. Again, there was no script for this video. I just really wanted to get this stuff off my chest. Please let me know down in the comments because I really want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see in a series focused on Knuckles. What other characters do you think deserve to have a series focused on them? And how do you guys think this series will impact the Sonic brand as a whole? With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. With all that said, this is Sam, signing out. See you later, procrastinators.